So I guess another thing that we can talk a little bit about here is really just the difference between a reseller and a referral partner,
Mm.
and why UpLync, well, I guess A, has done both, but B, why we prefer one over the other necessarily.
Yeah, sure. Well, in our definition, a reseller is maybe somebody who is going to own the customer.
Right.
Okay. Um, they're the kind of folks. They're the kind of entity who might want to team up with a big national provider. They would have their own controls. They would own the customer,
Mm-hmm.
but that requires them to recreate the wheel and
Right.
have people who know how to support phones, know how to engineer phones, how to do all
Right.
the things that we do.
Well, and the phones are a little bit different than they were when you had the old school phone
This is
systems, right?
completely
These are a
different.
bit more complex
They're little
necessarily than,
computers.
yeah,
Each
right,
phone is a little computer. So
right,
it takes a different skill set. And so that's more the reseller approach. We prefer the referral partner approach,
mm-hmm.
whereas we work with a managed service provider or any other kind of referral partner that might come along who wants to work with us, with the customer. We maintain that open channel of communication with the customer, and that's from a customer service perspective,
Oh
right?
yeah,
We want to be able to hear what the problems or the requests are straight from the customer, not have them going through a third party. And we want to be able to communicate directly to the customer that, hey, this is what we did, this is how we fixed it, this is what was wrong.
right.
So we do it from a customer support perspective. We really like to talk directly to the end customer.
Well, and that really boils down to efficiency, right? I mean, like, 'cause something's
Absolutely.
gonna break at some point, and you need
Absolutely.
to get it fixed quickly.
It's not uncommon for other VoIP providers in the world to have a 24-hour turnaround,
Right,
or maybe even a 48-hour turnaround
right,
on simple stuff. We like to do things in 15 minutes.
right,
So when you've got somebody in between there, it's going to create delays and the potential for miscommunication,
right.
and we like to try to avoid that.
Yeah, the analogy that I find myself frequently using in sales meetings, and I hate that I use it being a salesperson for a telephone company, is this idea of playing telephone with your customer to your MSP and back and forth,
Yeah,
right? Like, you
yeah.
lose stuff in translation as it goes back and forth.
We have to work with those MSPs to facilitate fixes, but we don't like to have that as the filter for those conversations. It's
Right,
just more efficient if we all work in a
right. If we
team.
just have that back channel right to the MSP to have the conversation,
Yeah,
determine what needs to be done, and fix
that's
it. And
incredibly
at the
helpful.
end of the day, the end user gets their problem fixed quickly,
Right,
efficiently,
right.
and they're a happy customer for both the MSP and UpLync.
Exactly.